The Boston Celtics take game one against the Orlando Magic in this Eastern Conference first round matchup. My name is Caden Kubler, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be breaking down this game for you guys and giving you my official reaction to this game one matchup between Orlando and Boston. Boston as the 2 seed, looking to retain its title from last year, and they came out a little lethargic in this game. I thought they were originally going to pull away after this successful first quarter. Jaylen Brown really did a good job of answering all of those questions that we had about his knee. Kind of heading into the end of the season, he was showing up on that injury report. He looked a little hobbled on that knee injury. He was telling everybody, hey, I'm fine. His teammates were saying, hey, he's good to go. He had that week of rest, and Boston comes out. Jaylen Brown, in specific, comes out and looked really strong with that knee. So that really eliminates any questions that we may have about that. Now, on the other hand, we're going to have a few question marks about Jayson Tatum and his potential wrist injury that he suffered in the fourth quarter. But before I address that wrist injury, I want to first of all talk about him. I love Jayson Tatum. I think he is a top 3 player in the NBA. Or if you are unfamiliar with my channel, I believe he is behind Jokic, and I believe he is behind Giannis as the 3rd best player in the NBA. But there are a few things that I would love to see from him in order to take that final step. We all know that Jaylen Brown won the Finals MVP. Fine. Tatum led the team in points, rebounds, and assists. Jaylen Brown was a little more efficient, played defense on Luka. You know what? If you think he was the Finals MVP, do whatever floats your boat. In my opinion, Tatum was the Finals MVP, and if he wants to win it this year, he's going to need to come out and be more aggressive. He did not shoot the ball well at all. 8 for 22, did not look great in the first half, was able to get it going a little bit in the second half, but kind of what I'm looking at from Tatum is I'm looking at Paolo Banchero. He stepped up tonight, 42 minutes, 14 for 27, and 36 points. I want to see Jayson Tatum match that. I want to see Jayson Tatum definitively be the best player on the floor. And in a game like tonight, I can't say that. Now, you know what? It was game one. I don't want to make any crazy reactions here because I'm not about to do that. I believe Boston will win the championship this year, and Jayson Tatum is going to win the Finals MVP. But I want Tatum to take that next step and definitively be the number 1 player on the floor, be the number 1 scorer on the floor. And I'm not going to criticize him too much here. He led the team in plus minus, was a plus 23, didn't shoot the ball effectively, and still had the number 1 plus minus on the team. He had 4 assists, which is a little down for him because normally if he's not shooting the ball well, he's still playmaking at such a high level, but he had 14 rebounds. They really needed that rebounding tonight. I thought Orlando did a really good job on the offensive glass, and they were hurting Boston in the first half. Joe Mazzulla did a good job at halftime and getting these guys ready to go in the second half. Like, hey, start boxing out. Put a man on a man. Like, let's get this going here. This is ridiculous. Orlando was all over the offensive boards in the first half, had a lot of second chance points, and that's ultimately why this game was so close going into halftime. Boston was down a point, but in the second half, you could tell they were connected. You could tell that they were a lot more intense. As you know, this is the playoffs. You guys had that rust in the first half. Let's shake it off. Let's get back to Boston Celtics basketball. And they would come out and outscore Orlando 55-37 in the second half. Outscored them by 18 points. They get it done by 17. And Mr. Derrick White, the bald mamba, oh my goodness, 30 points, 7 for 12 from beyond the arc, 10 for 18 from the floor. This dude is so unbelievable. And this is just what I marvel at for Boston so often, where it's like, okay, in the first quarter, we all know they go to that starting lineup with KP, JT, Drew, Derrick, and JB. But then they do this whole rotation where it's like, okay, here is now Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, and Al Horford, and then Peyton Pritchard comes in. Like, this team has a legitimate 9-man rotation before obviously all the other guys came in at the end of the game when they were in the blowout. But like, this team has a legitimate 9-man rotation, and they are so lucky to have so much depth. That's going to be such a benefit for them as Oklahoma City, Minnesota, all these teams in the West have to just go through this gauntlet, this bloodbath, maybe 7 games every series. Boston can get 9 guys in there. Jayson Tatum can have an 8 for 22 shooting night, and Derrick White will drop 30. Drew Holiday looked tremendous, 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. His scoring is just so his scoring is so essential for this Celtics team, and he's always there. He's Mr. Reliable. Like, they just have so many guys that can step up. Even Porzingis, he looked really rusty tonight. 1 for 8, only played 26 minutes. It's all right. Like, they've got other guys that'll step up. Crypto P, Peyton Pritchard, 6 for 8, 19 points, Mr. Six Man of the Year. This Celtics team is so lucky to have so much depth. It's such a blessing for Joe Mazzulla. Moving forward, they're going to need to be a lot sharper. This team is going to need to be a lot sharper as we head down the stretch here. And you know what? No overreacting needed. They're going to see Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. We all understand that. But at the end of the day, I want to see Jayson Tatum just take a step. I'm not saying, because everyone's going to get a little offended here. It's nothing against Tatum. I think Jayson Tatum is a tremendous player. I think we can all agree at times when we're watching him play, if me and you both think he's a top player in the world, he knows he's a top player in the world, let's take over and definitively be the best player on the floor. I don't want any question marks. I don't want any question marks that Jaylen Brown's the finals MVP. I don't want any question marks that Derrick White might be the best scorer on the floor, dropping 30. He can do that. I want Jayson Tatum to definitively be that guy to shut everybody else up. To shut everybody else up. And guess what? They're not all going to shut up, because everybody's just going to keep yapping about Tatum, how he gets carried by everybody else around him, which is ridiculous to me. But we want to see Tatum step up, take that final step. We know he's capable of doing so. The series will go 4 games. They'll play New York, beat them in 5 games. We're not worried about these first 2 rounds. I keep telling everybody that I know, everybody's like, are you excited for this game today? Yeah, I'm excited because we get postseason basketball, but how spoiled am I to where I'm like, we're not playing meaningful basketball for 8 more games, 7 more wins now. Our season doesn't start until the Eastern Conference Finals, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get healthy. Tatum, hopefully that wrist is all right. Hopefully it doesn't affect him as we head down the stretch for this series. Right wrist, shooting wrist. Hopefully he's all right. Jaylen Brown, hopefully that knee can continue to get healthier. Porzingis, we need you healthy. If this team's fully healthy, no one's beating him. Like, we can all agree on that. Nobody's beating this team, but really like the adjustments that they made. Sometimes that happens, when you're taking that week off, you're a little rusty when you come out. It's a game 1. No need to overreact. Really impressive second half performance. When this team puts together a full 48 of what they did in the second half, they're unbeatable. They're absolutely unbeatable. Game 2 on Wednesday night in the Garden. Let's take a 2-0 lead. I got Boston in 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Caden Kubler. See ya.